Alright, so this is the Triumph that we picked up. We've got the tires, front and rear, ordered. The biggest problem that I noticed was the front brake lever was just real spongy. Had some decent fluid, but the pads look a little on the worn side, so we ordered some EBCs that we have, so we're going to replace those now. Also on this bike, we had a ABS code. I don't know if it's the front or the rear, but these ABS sensors are real sensitive. So unfortunately, I don't think there's a way of testing them, but I'm going to go ahead and remove them. But yeah, so basically what we're going to do is we're just going to pull the caliper off right now, and then we'll check it. It's got some really weird wear in the front, like someone grinded it down. So I don't know what happened here. Usually what happens when you see this type of wear is like someone didn't tighten down the hardware and then the caliper rolled up into the rotor, but I'm not 100% sure. But just because we have that type of damage doesn't mean that it's bad. So this has clearly been ground down by somebody. There's no way that this was from like the rotor rolling forward. So I'm not really sure why they did this. So we're gonna remove this. We're gonna check the pad. So long as I've been working on bikes, I continually still make mistakes. I was too antsy and I pulled off the caliper and I forgot that you've got to remove this flathead cap right here. So that cap covers this 5mm Allen screw, and this is actually the pin that holds the brake caliper in place. So I just kind of slid that back on, hand tightened these bolts just to remove this. So now with that pin removed, the pads are out. And the pads don't have any really weird wear. You can see that they're, at first I thought they were unevenly wearing, but by the looks of it with them out, they look about the same. They just look worn. So nothing too bad there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to compress these pistons the hard way. There's a tool that you're supposed to use for this that I totally forgot to bring home from work, but we can just basically compress them a couple ways. The hard way, not really, would be to open up this drain or this bleed screw here, and then at that point you should be able to press down on these pistons. You'll make a mess, you know, because brake fluid's going to come out of here and you'll have to bleed it again, and we may actually end up going that route. So I'm pretty sure that we're really low on fluid or something. I mean, when I first got the bike, I knew the front lever, you know, again, was like real spongy. So the reason why I said that was because I removed the slide. As you can see, the slide's right there. I removed the slide off, and I was actually able to compress the pistons all the way down by hand. Now, I've been working out recently, guys. You know, y'all don't know, but I've been working out recently, but I don't think I'm that strong. Either way, so we got the pistons compressed without cracking open the bleed screw, so we're probably going to have to replace this fluid. We've got the sweet EBC pads here that we got from Cycle Gear. So just before we start actually doing anything, we're going to match these up really quick. Alright, so the caliper and all that's back on. I'm not going to bore you guys with the detail. There's several YouTube videos out there that will show you how to do that. And just looking at it, I can see like this bike needs a couple things here. So I went ahead and I started pumping on the brake lever here, and it's actually firmed up quite a bit. And so what we're going to do is we're going to wait about 10 seconds or so. In the meantime, if we look at the fluid here with the bike upright, you're going to see in the sight glass, you're going to see in the sight glass that it's really low on fluid. So we're going to have to get some DOT4 here and then top this off. But in the meantime, so we're going to check this out. So it's pretty firm. It's definitely way better than what it was. So that's a huge plus there. We're still going to have to bleed it out though. With it being this low, it doesn't make me feel super comfortable. One other thing that I noticed about this bike, when I first bought it, I noticed that it said no fuel in it, and I assumed that it was actually empty. But when I got it home, I actually put fuel in it, and as you can see, this fuel cap is really weird. I don't know what's going on with this fuel cap, but like it's the right cap because I can put my key in it and lock it and unlock it, but it doesn't like to unscrew for some reason. And then, you know, with the fuel level being this way, it just makes me not feel super warm and cozy. So it's going to be something that we're going to have to inspect because we're not going to be able to rent this out like that. So, yeah, you can even, right now, look, fuel's actually leaking out of it because it's so over full, because I didn't realize it. So I'm not really sure what's going on here, but we're going to have to inspect it, kind of see what's all going on with it. Okay, so bad news. This thing's definitely going to have to be bled. I let it sit for a few minutes, and I could grab the handlebar and damn near bottom out the lever. So look, so it's going to have to be bled. No big deal. Unfortunately, I don't have any DOT3, so we'll get some DOT3, or excuse me, DOT4 fluid. We'll fill this up, and then we'll bleed it tomorrow. One other thing that I noticed that, so this bike was purchased at a, the guy that owned it before me, he bought it from a tow yard, and then he got a title for it, but it's a clean title and it doesn't indicate any type of accident. So, but just a lot of weird things are going on. Like this ignition key is real funky. Like, it's real hard to get out. What's really interesting to me about this one is that if the keys have been changed, this key works. But what tells me that it has, these aren't the original keys, is the simple fact that this helmet lock key is completely wrong. I don't recall if these have different keys or not, but generally, like other bikes, it's all the same key, which obviously makes sense. But this key does not fit right. So